Hello, everyone. Casey Durango here of Go Keto with Casey, and I am live on YouTube. I haven't been live on YouTube in a really long time, so I hope this is working. I'm just going to talk and see if anybody shows up. If no one shows up, I'll talk to myself. I'm Casey Durango of Go Keto with Casey, and I like to talk about how I've lost 97.4 pounds on the ketogenic diet, how you might be able to lose weight, improve your health, and regain control of your life. So today's topic is going to be common keto questions. I actually just did this on Facebook Live a few minutes ago. Oh, hello. People are here. Hello. Hi. I'm so glad to see somebody show up. That makes me feel good. It has been a really long time since I've done a YouTube Live. So thanks for showing up. I might be repetitive. Actually, I am repetitive on many topics because, frankly, there's only so much to say about such a simple protocol. And for those of you who don't know, the ketogenic protocol, as I learned it and followed it, and frankly, all I can do is talk to you about my experience, what I've learned from the many people from whom I hear and with whom I speak, their experiences. The ketogenic protocol that I found successful is keep your carbohydrate intake 20 grams or fewer a day. That's total, not net. Eat fatty sources of protein. Don't eat if you're not hungry, and stop when you're satiated. That really is all there is to it. Oh, I'm so excited to see so many folks. Hello from Denver. This is great. And please let me know if you have any sound issues or visual issues. It's always a question, technology-wise. Some of the common questions that come up are, how do we get started on the ketogenic diet? Well, simply put, and this is what I did, seriously. Once I saw Dr. Eric Westman's white coat video. If you have not seen it, I highly recommend it. Just Google Eric Westman white coat video and you'll find it. He's from Duke University, and it was one day sitting at this very kitchen counter where I am now. And I had just gotten off the phone with one of my brothers who had just been diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. And I knew I was next. I'd been very heavy for a really long time. I'd been overweight, way overweight for about 30 years. And I had honestly given up on weight loss. I was 55 years old. And the common thoughts were, if you haven't, lost weight by age 45 or 50, you might as well give it up, particularly if you're a female. I just didn't want to take insulin for diabetes. So I Googled how to not take insulin for diabetes. That took me to Dr. Eric Westman's white coat video. He's at Duke University, and it was just an old school video of one of his clinic Mondays talking to patients in his clinic, and he called it the no starch, no sugar diet. Keep carbs 20 grams or fewer a day. Eat from the food list. Don't eat if you're not hungry. So the next time I ate, I just left off the carbs. That's it. So how do you start? Next time you eat, leave off the carbs. What's a carb? You probably know, but let me tell you. Grains, seeds, potatoes, and anything made from those things. So pasta, bread, even whole grain, it doesn't matter. Bran muffins, Ezekiel bread, and bunny white bread is all just going to come out of sugar, out of your liver. Here's how it works. Another question is, why does this work? Can't you just move more, eat less? Well, you might be able to. Some people are successful with that. I don't have a way to share a screen here, or I would show you horrible photos of me in a bathing suit and cycling shorts on the edge of a pool, getting ready to start the first leg of a sprint level triathlon. This summer I tried move more, eat less. And I trained for and completed 4 or 5 sprint level triathlons. And over the course of 6 months, lost 11 pounds, was hungry all the time. was pretty angry all the time. It just didn't work. Some people can do it. It did not work for me. So why this works is you flip from burning glucose or sugar for fuel to burning fat or ketones for fuel. And our bodies are so happy with that. And it actually suppresses your appetite, believe it or not. So you do end up eating less food, but it's not a struggle. You just eat less food because you're very satiated. Okay. So how do I start? Leave off the carbs. So you can have the same, you can have the same chuck roast and broccoli for dinner, just don't have any dinner rolls or mashed potatoes. You can have a Grand Slam breakfast from Denny's. Just leave off the pancakes, the bread, and the hash browns. Have an extra order of sausage. Eggs, sausage, beef with the fat, pork with the fat, lamb with the fat, eggs with the yolks. Delicious. Full fat dairy if you can tolerate dairy. It's not unlimited now. If you want to see the food list I followed, go to my blog, CaseyDurango.com. It's under resources. But there are copies of food lists all over the place. Just be wary of those that include nuts and fruit because fruit is sugar. Another common question. Can I do this if I don't have a gallbladder? Yes. Lots of folks do. Can I do this? Well, of course you can do it. That's the question is more, will it be effective if I've had a hysterectomy? Yes. What about Hashimoto's thyroid? Yes. No thyroid? Yes. High thyroid? Yes. Low thyroid? Yes. One kidney? Yes. Postmenopausal, premenopausal, perimenopausal? Yes, yes, yes. Another question. Will it help if I just have a carb up day and shock my system? No, at least not for me. You do what works for you. I can only share what worked for me and what has worked for many others with whom I speak and from whom I've heard. But a shock to the system, you could also stab yourself in the thigh with a steak knife. That would shock your system, but it probably is not going to help you burn fat. If you are allergic to peanuts and you feel much better when you don't eat peanuts, would you then say, well, I'm just going to shock my system one day and eat some peanuts? No, it just doesn't work. Well, I'm going to turn my attention to comments now and ask if anyone has any questions. I'm so happy to see people here. Saludos desde Puerto Rico in the Southwest Desert. Oiga, yo voy a tratar de hacer videos y posiblemente escribir en español también, pero yo quiero para mi esposo ayudar, porque yo puedo hablar español, pero yo tengo miedo que yo voy a decir una cosa incorrecto, porque español es mi lengua segunda. Y yo no quiero hacer mistakes. Did I see a Kimmy here? And I don't have my glasses on, but I think I can read these. Roxanne Dan, hi, Casey. What about a glass of wine or a vodka drink at holiday time or any time, really? I'm going to tell you, I have consumed and enjoyed wine and spirits throughout. Of course, not to excess. That is no thing. I was actually part of a very small clinical trial to study the impact of alcohol on ketosis. Ketosis, the state in which your body is burning fat for fuel. Spoiler alert, that was not in that trial was not shown to be any impact on ketosis. Excuse me, want to make sure that's not my husband. It's not. He's on a mountaintop in Colombia right now. But our liver must process the alcohol, which it sees as a toxin, because it is, before it kind of does the rest of its housekeeping. So imagine you're just kind of hitting the pause button on fat burning. But I enjoy spirits and wine. Dry wines, not sweet, so not cordials, not liqueurs. And of course, if you're going to have cocktails, non-sugar diet mixers. Okay, here's another common question. Thank you. Sunny Skies asks, Wendy Roche, does anyone have an issue with hair falling out? It's driving me nuts. There is no reason that the ketogenic diet would result in hair shedding. Any dietary change, particularly if it's fairly dramatic. So if you've gone from kind of eating the standard American diet to following a ketogenic or a very low carb diet, or any other shock, if you've been under anesthesia, if you've had an emotional trauma, if you have suffered an injury, this can result in telogen effluvium, which is more hair shedding than usual. It's temporary. It doesn't last forever. There's also just our hair sheds in zones. So you might be in it all the time, right? So it might be shedding here this week, and then next month it's shedding over here, and then it sheds over here. And occasionally, like the solar eclipse, total eclipse of the sun, all the zones kind of start shedding at the same time, but that passes. So no, because this is a nutrient-dense way of eating, there's no reason that the ketogenic diet should result in excessive hair shedding. Good morning, El Toro Negro, the Black Bull. Linda M. Kate writes, Casey, don't talk about fat Casey so bad. She needed love and you gave it, and she responded success. Thank you, Linda. I was fat. I have no problem with that word. And I have no problem with other people who are overweight or obese or however you want to put it. I'm all about body positivity. I was not happy and I was not healthy and I was getting worse. The fat didn't cause me to be ill, in my opinion. The overweight was another side effect of the poor nutrition. Not poor nutrition like I was, depriving myself of whole foods. I just should not have been following the standard American diet or the food pyramid or all that stuff. Carbohydrate is not my friend. So I was not happy. I had the best life of anybody I know and always have had. But inside my brain, not happy. P.S. writes, I do keto without a gallbladder, but I suffered severe reaction to too much fat at first. Without a gallbladder, you must do fats gradually. Keep in mind, the ketogenic diet, you don't pile on a lot of added fats. That's a misconception. And there are some people who will tell you, you must pound back the fat. No. Here's the protocol. Keep your carbohydrate intake to 20 grams or fewer a day. Eat fatty sources of protein. Don't eat if you're not hungry, and stop when you're satiated. Nowhere does it say get in X number of grams of fat or X number of grams of protein. It is considered a high-fat diet only because it's not a low-fat diet. There are only 3 macronutrients. By the way, carbohydrate is not one of the essential ones. And if protein stays fairly steady, which it should, because we're all different and our protein levels should stay kind of, we just don't feel well if we overeat protein. So assuming protein stays the same, the other 2 levers on the teeter-totter are fat and carbohydrate. If you're eating low fat, by definition, the carbohydrate goes up. If you reduce the carbohydrate, there's more fat, but it's not added fat. Fat bombs, bulletproof coffee, do what works for you. But if you're burning fat for fuel, because you've reduced your carbohydrate intake sufficiently, but you're consuming by mouth all the fat your body requires for energy, it's not gonna burn it off your tuchus. Tracy R. writes, really struggling with waking in the middle of the night at 3 a.m. Do I need more fats? I cannot think of a reason that increasing fats would make you sleep better. No. I don't know how old you are, Tracy, but I think a lot of other females, particularly in a certain age group, will say, get used to it. 3 a.m. seems to be the witching hour for a lot of us. It just is. Tracy Willis hi from Arizona. So far lost 30 pounds. Yay! With keto and swimming, carbs are not friend either. Yeah, they're just not my friend. As Kimmy from Germany would say, it's not my food. Okay, Sunny Skies. What are the best keto recipe books out there? I'm going to tell you, here's my personal thoughts on that. I think it is very helpful to step away from scouring books and the internet for recipes. Following a ketogenic diet is really cooking a fatty source of protein, maybe a cup or so of vegetables, and using, some reserve bacon fat to cook it in. That's kind of it. Your seasonings and spices, however you want. Make a sauce with some heavy cream and cream cheese if you want. I'll tell you the source I used and continue to use if I'm going to look for something special, is a website called Linda's Low Carb. Is that it? Somebody else might know it. I have it bookmarked, so I don't even have to look at it. It's real old school, but it's just great. And then try this. Step away from the food. I mean, how many ways do you need, how many recipes do you need to know about a baked chicken and some roasted cauliflower and broccoli? Do what you want to do, but I don't recommend any cookbooks. I recommend Linda's Low Carb website. Hey, Myra. Morning, Casey. Probably why I haven't kept losing, because I've not stopped the fat. I've lost 34 pounds and stopped losing. I assume I've been 2 pounds up and down for 5 months. Thanks for all you do. You're welcome. Yeah. If you're consuming the fat your body requires for energy, it's not going to tap on the onboard resources. And keep in mind, as you lose weight, your energy requirements can diminish. It's not saying that your metabolism is shutting down. You just need, I'm carrying around 97.4 pounds less than I did when I started. My body doesn't have to work as hard just to move across the face of the earth. So I need less food. Plus, I'm older. We get older. I'm in a different stage of life. When you're a young person building muscle, that's one thing. If you are a fertile female and every month your body is trying to make sure you have the resources needed to carry a fetus, then that's different. When you get to my stage of life, lots changes. Plus, you wake up every night at 3 o'clock. Good morning. Okay. Okay, I'm not sure I get that, so I'm going to Brenda over that. Brenda Hamilton. I'm 72, very short, no thyroid, no gallbladder, and keto is the best thing that I've found to lose weight and feel good. Thank you, Brenda. I'm going to go back to referencing last month. I had a roadshow, Go Keto with Casey roadshow in Portland, Oregon. I really enjoyed it. I hope the attendees did. 2 of the attendees were Walter and his mother, Marie. They came down from Seattle. Walter's lost 50 pounds, and he's gorgeous altogether, by the way. His mother, Marie, is 93. 93. She looks great. She's a doll, and she gave up sugar at age 90. Those of us who want to say, I can't do this because I've eaten this way my whole life. Of course, we all have eaten this way all of our lives. And probably our parents ate this way. If Marie can give up sugar at age 90 and look great, and she's on 0 medications, 93, and she's pretty sure she's influenced her doctor. Take that. Paula. I've had 3 cheat days at Halloween, the first of 9 months, and my inflammation is in full force. Nothing like pain to get you back on track. The whole cheating thing, the whole celebrating a holiday with food. The whole, won't be a celebration if I don't have this. I'm not saying that this happened to me immediately, but I'm telling you right now, from my perspective, it makes no sense to me. I no longer associate celebrations, victories, holidays, moments with food. And I was asked point blank, congratulations, will you go back? Someone wrote me this. Will you go, is there a time or something like that? Is there a celebration or a milestone where you'll go ahead and celebrate with some carby foods? And my response was, I cannot imagine any occasion or celebration that would be enhanced by eating something that's going to make me feel bad. I'm not talking about, I might put on 2 pounds. I'm talking about make you feel bad. I've heard it too many times. Like was just written, inflammation comes back almost immediately. There are people who will be fine and can go without using their asthma inhalers. They eat some sugar or carbs, whatever, they have to go back to using the inhaler. Their eczema comes back. Their acid reflux comes back. And these are all things that would have been dissipated only through food. And it's the food you don't eat that makes the difference. It's the food you don't eat that makes a difference. Exogenous ketones, while they're being studied for therapeutic uses, therapeutic meaning people who have neurological conditions or people in extreme environments like astronauts and Navy SEALs and etc. Exogenous ketones are not going to help you burn body fat. All they're going to do is drain through you and drain your wallet. You don't need to take supplements if you need some magnesium or something, that's one thing. But there's no keto supplements you need. This is a very nutrient-dense way to eat. I recommend that if you have questions about the physiology of it, I recommend you check out The Art and Science of Low Carbohydrate Living by Drs. Stephen Phinney and Jeff Volek. And if you are interested in the comparison of plant food versus animal food for nutrition, check out Dr. Georgia Ede, E-D-E, and Zoe Harcombe, H-A-R-C-O-M-B-E. They have excellent writings on this. Okay. Hey, help from North Carolina. Rose, where are you in North Carolina? And I guess you mean hello. Come on to, on the 12th of November, Monday, I have my monthly Go Keto with Casey meetup in Greensboro at Wine Styles. It's free, nothing to buy, don't collect email addresses or anything like that. We just come and meet up and share stories at Wine Styles at Friendly Center. Tracy R says, so no MCT oil? Again, do what you want. Some people swear by it. But I wonder, no, I don't do MCT oil. MCT is a medium chain triglyceride. It can't be stored, so it must be utilized immediately. So that's like saying, I want to burn all this wood on my campfire. So I've got my campfire, but if my goal is to burn the wood, but I keep throwing lighter fluid or kerosene on it, I don't need to burn the wood because I'm just going to burn the fuel. MCT oil is like lighter fluid. It has to be burned first. Hey, from Princeton, West Virginia. Hello from Washington State. Low salt or no salt, good for your potassium. I also take magnesium supplement. This is one thing. When people, thank you for bringing up the potassium and everything. It's rare to have a potassium deficiency. That's rare, not unrare, not uncommon for people to be deficient in magnesium. You can supplement with magnesium. Slow release magnesium is what I take when I need it. I don't need it all the time. It seems to be kind of seasonal with me. If I get kind of tingly or, feel a little lightheaded, I'll supplement with magnesium. But very often it's corrected by increasing our sodium. Dr. Finney recommends, if you do not have sodium-sensitive hypertension, 5 grams of sodium a day. And he carries around baggies of cheap bouillon cubes to get the sodium. What happens is the ketogenic diet tends to allow us to flush water through our system. With the water goes the sodium. Sodium is the queen of the minerals, the electrolytes. With sodium go potassium, calcium, magnesium. So very often increasing your sodium will balance those out. Buenos días, dice JC Cruz. What about almond milk? It's not on the list, but low in carb. Do what works for you. If it's low in carb, fine. Keep in mind, trying to keep the sheet one page does not leave room for every food item in the world. For instance, alligator meat, not on the list. Neither is bison. Look at the carbs. And I don't subtract out fiber grams or sugar alcohols. I just look at the carbs. That's it. So if you like it and it's low in carb, good. Do I take any supplements? I don't take a multivitamin, but when I need it, and it seems to be in the autumn, I take 3 Mag 64s that I get from Amazon. You can go to my blog, caseydurango.com, and look at my resources and favorite things, and that would be an affiliate link, but you don't have to do that. Go to Amazon and get the packages of 5. Take 3 a day. That's it. Michael, hey Michael, obviously flour and cornstarch are out. Are there any good keto thickeners? I found a good keto meatloaf recipe, and I'd like to make gravy instead of using sugar-free ketchup. You know what I use to thicken? Cream cheese. It's delicious. I use cream cheese to thicken. You can also, and it's very effective, so you need very little xanthan gum. I mean, like a 1/4 teaspoon will just keep thickening. But I find heavy cream cheese, and then using the juices. Oh, and it's so rich. Love it. I'm late, but I'll try and catch on the replay, but I've missed. Thought I should say hi since I peeked in. Hi, Deanna. Oh, excuse me, make sure this is not my husband. Tis not. Liz P. writes, children are still being taught the food pyramid in schools. 6 to 11 servings of carbs. That is keeping the future diabetes docs in business. Yeah, it's going to be a slow change, but that's on us. I mean, all we can do is take care of our world, right? Person by person. It's amazing how many people are influenced by what you do. People you may never know who are seeing what's going on with you. And then you'll find that people, like, you're leaving the office or you're leaving a meeting or something, and they tap you on the shoulder and they say, excuse me, you look great. What are you doing? Those are the people that will probably listen. Do you think there will be lawsuits like they went after the tobacco industry? Did you comment on one of my videos? That sounds very familiar. No, I don't think there will be. Tobacco has one use. When used as directed, it can make you very sick. Right? And they kept the really deadly components of it. They just covered it up. But there are other uses for wheat and barley and rye and corn and potatoes. And some people are fine eating the standard American diet. Not everyone needs this. There are lots of ways to get to the same goal. If you are happy with your body weight, if your triglycerides are low, your HDL is high, if your blood pressure is good and your blood sugar is good, huzzah. Keep doing what you're doing. Wasn't that way for me. and I was not happy. And I'm telling you, my chronic depression didn't lift because I lost weight. I wasn't depressed because I was fat. I am convinced that it was my body chemistry, because I did not have one of those dark moods essentially since I started doing this. And it took me, let's talk about losing weight. You know, people say, how fast can I lose weight? I have no idea. I was a gradual, normal loser. The first year I lost 47 pounds. That's on average less than a pound a week. So it's not like now I've lost weight because my identity is tied up with whether I lose weight or not. No, I'd given up on that. My physiology changed. So some people are fine. Some people have perfect pitch. Most of us don't. It was the carbs. I've only lost 21 pounds since May 1st. I lose slowly, but at least I'm losing, and it is staying off. Slow and steady wins the race. I want to give a plug for Patreon. Some people have written me, and I appreciate the attention, and said, could you please make more videos? I wish you'd make more. I make about 20 videos a month for patrons. And if you pledge at the $2 a month level, you get about 20 videos a month from me, plus access to a patron-only forum, and then contribution levels go up from there, and access goes up. So patron-only live streams, about 6 a month, and patron-only group video chats, about 6 a month, and one-on-one sessions with me, depending on your contribution level. But around Go Keto with Casey, we have really changed the vocabulary for ourselves. We don't say, I have only lost. You say, I've lost. There were years when I just started out January 1st saying, please let me just lose 10 pounds this year. Please. And I wouldn't. I'd put on 3 pounds. So 21 pounds is great. So congratulations. And I'm glad you're recognizing that you're feeling good and it's staying off. But I would recommend, don't say I've only lost 21 pounds. Say I've lost 21 pounds since May 1st. 5th to the 11th, that's 6 months. You've lost 3 pounds a month. It's fantastic. We also don't say I'm a slow loser. We say I'm a gradual loser. And we don't say I've plateaued. We say I'm hovering. And we also, when someone gives us a compliment, say, oh, wow, Casey, you look great. You've lost weight. We don't say, oh, thanks, but I've got a long way to go. We just say, thank you. I feel great. The way we talk to ourselves is very important. What does average typical day look like food-wise? Thank you for that question, Leanne. It has changed. When I started, I had a gracious amount of food because I was like I would say I was a kid in a candy store, but I was more like a kid in a bacon and ranch dressing store. I ate a lot of food, but now I just need less and I want less. So a typical day, I don't know. I have not eaten yet. I have my coffee, which I do enjoy with Splenda. Yes, I eat Splenda. It's okay, y'all. And heavy cream, which I measure 2 teaspoons per cup. But probably later on, I'm going to get some pulled pork that I've got and heat it up with probably our family of seasonings, which we like. Another thing, I share some few recipes on Patreon, but my family of seasonings, we do equal parts ginger, cayenne, turmeric, and kosher salt. And I'll probably saute that up and make kind of a gravy. Maybe I'll sprinkle some cheese in that. And that's probably what I'll eat. And I don't know what I'll eat later. But I don't share what I eat. And I'll tell you a reason why. I used to share my Fitness Pal with people because it was asked for. And then I realized that's not right. No one should, don't let an app tell you what to eat. Don't let someone else's app tell you what to eat. Don't let a talking head tell you how much you need to eat. Listen to your body. Your body is the only authority on what you should be eating and how much. Don't eat if you're not hungry. Eat if you're hungry. Stop when you're satiated. Carly Roy, hi Casey, this is my first time catching you actually live. I usually watch the replay. Thanks for your inspiration and simple guidance. It's up to me a lot. Yeah, it is ultimately up to us. And it sounds simplistic. I don't like the idea of, just do it. Because it is more complicated. But we can do it. If I can do this, you can do this. If you want to see my before photos, which I would screen share if I can, go to my blog, look at the before photos. If those were not my heaviest, I'm actually 115.5 pounds off my heaviest weight. If I can do this, I promise you, you can do it. I am not special. I don't have any magic key. I just didn't want to take insulin for diabetes. I had given up on losing weight. So just the next time you eat, leave off the carbs. Use tools and tricks that work for you. If you feel like you're getting a little bit, a little anxious, I want to eat something, set a timer for yourself. I've done that. This whole not eating if you're not hungry takes practice. So I would set a timer. I would find myself standing in front of the fridge, which is right there. And I'd say, wait a minute. Why am I here? Am I eating out of hunger or out of habit? And this was after I lost about 45 pounds and I started to hover. And I would say, I'm here because it's 10:45 and I usually eat something right about now. So I say, wait a minute, I'm not hungry. I don't need to eat. I'm not about to pass out. So I set a timer for myself, 15 minutes. Maybe I'll eat in 15 minutes, but right now I'm not going to eat. Then I set another timer. Before I knew it, I'd forgotten about the timers and it was 3 o'clock and I still hadn't eaten. And it was fine. Tips and tools. Thank you, Spivey21. Paleo, keto, 6 years, no pain. That's another question comes up. Well, how are you going to sustain it? Very easily. Thank you very much. What's not to sustain? My husband is traveling. When he gets back, we'll be eating a bone-in standing rib roast. I guess that's redundant. Standing rib roast, prime rib. Oh, so delicious. And probably some, I don't know what else I'll have. Some kind of, baby asparagus, maybe with a cheese sauce on top. What's hard about sustaining breakfast link sausages and cheese omelets and fatty pork chops and coffee with cream and manchego cheese and bacon wrapped scallops and mashed cauliflower thickened with cream cheese and heavy cream and butter, ranch dressing, blue cheese, shrimp, lamb. What's hard? Crystal Steiner, sunny skies. If you don't have a sensitivity to dairy and the carbs and the cottage cheese fit within your 20 grams a day, I say go for it. I've never checked out cottage cheese. We don't eat it, so I've just never checked it out. But yeah, that's good advice. If it works and you're good with it, good. Yes, fried ground beef with ground sauce and Frank's hot sauce. What a find. Love it. Fried chicken, obviously without the breading, but deep fry some chicken drumsticks and then put them in a cast iron skillet with equal parts butter and Frank's hot sauce kind of melted. Toss it around, stick it in the oven. Alrighty, I am going to, thank you. You're adorable too. Okay, Ms. Joyce Fox asks, just got here, any carnivore thoughts? I'm going to tell you, I'm essentially a carnivore now, not because I'm anti-veg or anything. I just, particularly now that my husband he's been away a while, he's going to be gone through the month. I just I'm not eating any vegetables. I don't even have any fresh vegetables in my fridge. I've got some frozen. But I just don't eat that many vegetables. I don't eat much food. I mean, and I don't need them. My health is quite good. But there are people in our Patreon group who are doing a November carnivore challenge with each other or themselves. And just to see, there's no reason not to. Again, I will direct you to Dr. Georgia Eid, who is a carnivore. And I think she's written on it. And carnivory is growing, and there's no real downside to it that I know of. Thank you, Nancy. Yes, Casey does not count the M word. Did someone ask about the M word? Finally made alive. And I'm going to say, hey, Sam, I haven't been doing YouTube lives. It's been a really long, I don't know, maybe a year. I've been uploading Facebook lives here. So I decided to do YouTube because I don't like the video quality on the uploading the others. Orlando Caballero. Carnivore is excellent. Yeah. So like yesterday, did I eat? I didn't eat much yesterday. I went hungry. I traveled to see our granddaughter. So much of my day was taken up. The day before, no, I didn't eat any vegetables the day before, and I doubt that I will today. Okay, Ms. Joyce Fox, I have not heard anything about that. Everyone is different. She writes constipation and carnivore is horrible, though. I've not found it. Others that I've heard from have not found that. And Susan Plura writes, do you eat any nuts at all? You look great. Thank you. I feel great. No, I don't. Nuts are something that are not on the food list, for one thing. But they're very easy to mindlessly and overeat. And they're calorically and carb dense. And keep in mind, peanuts are not a nut. So no peanuts, no peanut butter. They're a legume. But my husband, who was different than I, he does. He'll eat a couple of handfuls of almonds a day. I just don't. Do what works for you. Vera Rose Keen asks, do you take foods to a gathering if you know there won't be any keto foods? Not usually, unless it's one of those things where everyone's taking food, and then I'll take something, usually deviled eggs. But no, let me tell you what, I don't worry about not eating. I can go hours without eating. It's different than when I was a sugar burner, when your brain would be telling you, get some food, get some food. No, there's no food there for me to eat. I don't eat. But there's rarely is that the case. Sit down dinners at friends' homes, cocktail parties. There's almost always something I can eat. There's almost always going to be a cheese platter with maybe some, salami, pickles, olives. But if there's not, I just don't eat. I might have an extra glass of wine instead. Brisket is excellent. You do not need to know the M word in order to keep carbs below 20. Have been doing it for almost 2 years. You can't. See, these are different things. The only protocol is the grams of carbohydrate below 20. That's all you need to know. If you eat fatty sources of protein, it'll all work itself out. This whole pie chart macronutrient M word thing, that came as a result of studies where people were eating carb restricted and able to eat otherwise, just free eat otherwise, but the carbs were restricted. It just comes out that way. Don't eat super lean cuts of meat and don't, stick back added dietary fat. It'll all work out. Don't worry about it. Jackie McAdamy, if I'm pronouncing it correct. Any tips, Ray, food cravings on keto, which I think are due to a poor relationship with food in the past. Don't think I'm hungry, but just want to eat. Jackie in Northern Ireland. My family's from Ireland. Sorry if this accent offends you. Here's my thought about cravings. Nobody died of a craving. We still have free will, Jackie. what to put in our mouths. And if you stop eating something long enough, you won't crave it. People find this very difficult to believe, but it's true. And as Dr. Westman says, you don't crave what you don't eat. Do any non-smokers here crave cigarettes? Because you don't smoke. Does anyone here who did not grow up eating Vegemite sandwiches crave them? No, because you need them. So, but if you go long enough, the cravings disappear. It is like magic. But until that happens, just remind yourself, I'm stronger than an inanimate object. Okay, so I think I crave a Snickers bar, but I still have control over whether I put it in my mouth. Just let it pass and you'll be amazed what happens. And it doesn't take that long. Other people will probably be able to attest to that. Don't just listen to me. Okay, Dan, I've never eaten deep fried alley cat with eggs for breakfast. So I'm not sure if that is a slam or some snark or what, but I have no idea, unless deep fried alley cat is a euphemism for something else. Some don't have a nutrition label. Not sure what that means. Just ignore the pie charts. Yes, and that's my recommendation. Do what works for you. If it's not working, though, step back and ask yourself some questions. Okay, I am going to sign off. I really appreciate this. I will try to keep up the YouTube lives if there's interest in it. I am going to remind you that Patreon, in my estimation, is a site that allows people to give up their day jobs to create content. And that is exactly what I've done. I gave up my lucrative day job, and patrons make it possible. So thank you. And there is a lot of patron-only content there. I will continue. Do I eat pork rinds? Yes. As a matter of fact, I use these, Lowry's. That label's probably backwards, but I get them from Amazon, and this is nice. They're microwave, and they're like portion control. So you don't overeat them. Frankly, I can't eat too many pork rinds. Half the time now, I make a bag of these, and I give half to Atticus, my dog. Paula, thank you. She writes, thank you for the inspiration and guidance. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to try to keep up the live chats. Thank you to any patrons who are here. And just remember, you can do this. There are people out there who have a vested interest in us being confused about this process. Because if they've made it confusing, they can sell you something to make it easy. You don't need to buy anything. Nothing, nothing, nothing. Just leave off the carbs. And the next time you eat after that, leave off the carbs. And listen to your body. And if you're not hungry, don't eat. You're not going to waste dead away. Our bodies know what we're doing. Keep in mind that your body derives its energy from the fuel you put in your mouth and the fuel that you're carrying around with you. So your body, by definition, will get the energy it needs. As long as you're not doing something wacky. If you're going to go on a hunger strike, then you're going to have some problems. But just eat when you're hungry, stop when you're satiated. Okay, guys, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. And I'm so glad this worked. I didn't know. I never know. Hasta la vista. Dos vedanya. Ciao. Auf Wiedersehen.